What were we talking about?
Killing an idea.
Oh, yeah.
Is that we have to come up with bombs that kill ideas.
I mean, I feel like you're on this page. Are we going to wipe them out?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that it's an emotional response.
Right.
I'm not on the page.
And that's not a good idea, emotional responses. Let's use this.
BillMaher just went after Stephen Colbert, and it was every bit as savage as expected. Following leaked reports that Colbert was allegedly ousted from CBS after a staggering $40 million loss, Maher didn't mince words.
And now the dinosaurs are outside of the theme park. And
I do this for a living, and I'm not sure if I follow you there.
Okay, but they did.
True to form, Maher didn't hold back, tearing into Colbert's legacy and pinning the show's collapse on his relentless Trump obsession, which he said drove away half the country. Maher's been taking shots at him for years, but this wasn't just casual commentary. It was a full-scale takedown. If you live for truth hitting harder than fire, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. What's coming next is unmissable.
All the comics that were supposed to put everybody to bed or whatever it is, they all went bananas left. I mean, Colbert, these guys are terrible. Like, Kimmel to me is just maybe friends with him. I know a lot of people
I love Jimmy.
Yeah, like he is
Colbert and I are not
me.
friends.
Yeah, like those guys to me, they're just the worst sort of partisan nonsense. You want everybody.
But the good part of that is we don't hide it. Like, he doesn't like me and I don't like him. And we don't deny it and we don't like it.
No, but he's nothing.
Colbert?
Yeah, he's nothing.
He's also very successful.
No, but he's just giving the machine what it wants all the time. For my differences with you, I totally respect you.
Is well said.
Yeah.
Giving the machine what it wants. I wish I had thought of that phraseology. That's exactly right.
BillMaher didn't hold back, unloading a barrage of blows on the former late-night star. He blasted Colbert's relentless partisan politics disguised as comedy and lamented the loss of late night's golden era, when the goal was to entertain, not indoctrinate. What was once a space for light-hearted laughs to help Americans unwind has morphed into an ideological echo chamber. Maher railed against hosts who blindly cheer left-wing policies while relentlessly mocking anything conservative, turning comedy into propaganda. It's no longer about the jokes, Maher argued. It's about pushing a narrative. And he's not laughing.
Because he's stupid, this guy, so he's thinking he's praising, but he's actually undercutting. Again, this is a triple axle, and he always should get...
Dude, that's court jester stuff. That's the stuff the comics are supposed to do.
Right, court jester stuff.
That's the stuff we were supposed to do,
so
right? They've all
right.
become the reverse, though, right?
But,
they've all become suck-up.
BillMaher ripped into Colbert, accusing him of betraying his role as a comedian and morphing into a shameless mouthpiece for the left. He charged Colbert with turning a once iconic late-night stage into nothing more than a megaphone for woke ideology, no nuance, no balance, just partisan pandering. Maher argued that Colbert abandoned comedy in favor of preaching to the progressive choir, leaving no space for independent thought. And Maher wasn't about to let it slide. He revealed why, despite crossing paths and even guesting on Colbert's show, they've never been friends. The reason? Maher may be liberal, but he's not a loyalist. He doesn't worship Trump, but he doesn't hate him either, and unlike Colbert, he's not afraid to call out his own side when it goes off the rails. That's what makes Maher both dangerous and refreshing.
I did his show twice. I mean, you could tell it's on screen, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not like we fucking fought each other and like came to blows. But it's just
thing.
like, he's very opposite of me. He's like a married Catholic, and I'm like me, so, but that's okay. We're not alike.
You bring
either.
your lawyer to confession.
Right.
I
don't have Republican gay sex.
BillMaher tore into Colbert's carefully cultivated persona, calling it nothing more than a performance wrapped in applause. He suggested that every laugh, every clap, every reaction on Colbert's show is choreographed to serve a narrative, not genuine comedy. By contrast, Maher pointed out that real time often challenges its own audience, even drawing boos when he voices unpopular truths. Colbert's stage, he argued, feels less like satire and more like political theater. Maher stressed that while his show is scripted, it never demands forced laughs or blind agreement. Then he posed the challenge: has Colbert ever allowed real dissent to ring out on his stage? Ever let an unfiltered opinion shake the room? Your guess is as good as mine.
And now the dinosaurs are outside of the theme park. And
I do this for a living, and I'm not sure if I follow you there.
Okay, but they did.
The tension between Maher and Colbert is undeniable, and it's been brewing for years. They don't like each other, and that much is clear. Maher, at least, tries to keep things civil, while Colbert leans into smugness. In one telling moment, Maher cracked a sharp joke. The audience laughed, but Colbert deliberately played dumb, pretending not to get it, leaving Maher hanging and looking foolish on national TV. Maher hasn't hidden his disdain for Colbert, yet he still appeared on his show, because he believes in open dialogue, even with people who dislike or disagree with him. That's real discourse. Colbert, by contrast, thrives on pettiness, mocking, canceling, and dismissing anyone who doesn't echo his worldview. For Maher, it's about debate. For Colbert, it's about domination.
What were we talking about?
Killing an idea.
Yeah.
Is that we have to come up with bombs that kill ideas.
I mean, I feel like you're on this page. Are we going to wipe them out?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that it's an emotional response.
Right.
I'm not on the page.
And that's not a good idea, emotional responses. Let's use this and not...
BillMaher then utterly dismantled Colbert, urging him to use his head over his heart, warning that emotions can be dangerously deceptive. Hatred, he said, blinds you from seeing any good, just as blind love hides the bad. Maher challenged him to rise above the tribal noise and embrace critical thinking. Strong opinions are fine, but when emotion drives everything, fairness, reason, and intellectual honesty go out the window. Bias is inevitable, but the real test is staying level-headed, especially when the stakes are high. That, Maher argued, is the mark of maturity and the difference between true thinkers and Maher ideologues.
$100 million, you lose $40 million a year, but why were you given the job? It's why I always say the thing about, I'm not that interested in what the ladies of The View say anymore. I'm not that interested in what the crazy people on MSNBC say anymore. I'm interested in the corporate layer of it. I'm interested in the people that are running the show saying, okay, we'll give you this to do this. Like, whether Colbert knows it or not, he was just giving the machine what it wants. Oh, there's a guy who will literally dance to convince people to get a vaccine that doesn't work. We'll give him plenty of money to do it, right? And there's a guy, Brian Stelter, who will say whatever we want, and then people will wake up and his ratings will be horrible, so we'll fire him, and then he'll disappear here, and we'll bring him back because not everyone will give the machine what it wants, and there's the inherent problem. That's why going independent really is the only thing that you can do if you're going to be a truly honest player in the space.
In business, the goal is profit. And when the losses keep piling up, cutting bait is the only smart move. That's essentially what happened to Stephen Colbert. Despite a jaw-dropping $100 million annual budget, his show bled between $40 and $50 million every year. Eventually, CBS made the obvious call: pull the plug. But as Dave Rubin pointed out, the bigger question is why Colbert had that massive budget to begin with. It wasn't about comedy, it was about carrying water for the establishment. That's why he became a cheerleader for the COVID vaccine rollout and helped bury the Hunter Biden laptop story. He wasn't just a host, he was a mouthpiece, and a very well-paid one. And once the news broke that Colbert had been fired, Jon Stewart completely lost it. Check this OU.
The fact that CBS didn't try to save their #1 rated network late-night franchise that's been on the air for over 3 decades is part of what's making everybody wonder, was this purely financial? Or maybe the path of least resistance for your $8 billion merger?
Jon Stewart erupted at Paramount, CBS's parent company, accusing them of shamelessly bowing to Donald Trump. In a fiery tirade, he argued the network cared more about winning Trump's approval for its $8 billion merger than protecting Stephen Colbert's late-night legacy. For Stewart, this wasn't about ratings or quality, it was about politics and profit. And honestly, his reaction was no surprise. Stewart was never going to throw Colbert under the bus. After all, he's the one who first launched Colbert into late-night stardom and was instrumental in his early success. Colbert wasn't just a colleague. He was Stewart's protégé, a loyal soldier from the Daily Show war room before branching out in 2005. That kind of bond runs deep, so to Stewart this felt like more than corporate betrayal. It was personal. Still, his outburst didn't land with everyone. Critics across the board pushed back. Watch this.
There was speculation yesterday in the podcast universe. Bill Simmons had on Matthew Bellany of Puck News, formerly Hollywood Reporter, and they openly wondered whether when Jon Stewart went on the air Monday night, he would quit because he was so outraged over the deep wrong that had been done to his good friend Stephen Colbert. Clearly fired over politics. And so there was some anticipation. They both said they were going to watch Stewart live that night to see whether he would quit and make a point that this was deeply immoral, so much so that he would sacrifice the millions and the fame, air quotes, that he's getting from his reappearance on Mondays on The Daily Show. And instead, this is what we got.
Megyn Kelly tore into Jon Stewart's response to the Colbert fiasco, blasting it as pure hypocrisy. Many expected Stewart to take a principled stand, maybe even resign from The Daily Show, which falls under the same Paramount umbrella. Instead, he opted for theatrics over integrity, delivering a cringeworthy song and dance routine thinly disguised as satire at Paramount's expense. But the one move that would have actually mattered, resignation, never happened. As Kelly pointed out, Stewart chose the comfort of a paycheck and the security of fame over showing real solidarity with his longtime friend and protege, Stephen Colbert. His outrage, she argued, was performative, loud, dramatic, but ultimately hollow. If principle were the priority, Stewart had the platform and the power to walk away. Instead, he chose the easier path, pretend rebellion while cashing in.
Lefties are losing it over news of the show's cancellation. Failed vice presidential candidate Tim Walz, Tampon Timmy, has posted to social media declaring that Stephen Colbert is the best in the business. He always told the truth to power and pulled no punches. We need more of that, not less. Well, having Tim Walz endorse you says it all.
What's most telling about Colbert's firing is where the outrage is coming from, almost entirely the left. From the right, silence. And that silence speaks volumes. It shows just how far Colbert drifted from comedy into activism. He wasn't aiming to make everyone laugh. He was aiming to make his side feel righteous. In the process, he abandoned the core of late night, being funny for all. By turning his show into a political megaphone instead of a nightly escape, he alienated half the country. The steady ratings decline over the past 5 years proves it. Audiences don't want partisan sermons disguised as monologues. They want satire that hits in all directions. Colbert became predictable, and in comedy, predictability is death. He wasn't a unifier, he was a divider with a desk and a laugh track. So it's no surprise the only ones mourning his departure are the choir he preached to. Everyone else had already changed the channel.
Here's actress Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's bad. He's a great, great guy. Yes, they're trying to silence people, but that won't work. Won't work. We will just get louder.
In the end, Colbert's downfall wasn't just about ratings or money, it was about losing the very essence of comedy. He swapped laughs for lectures, punchlines for politics, and turned himself into a partisan figure instead of an entertainer. While his allies cry foul, the silence from the other half of the country says it all. Maher, Megyn Kelly, and others exposed the cracks in his carefully crafted persona, a stage turned into a soapbox, viewers alienated, and the inevitable price paid. Comedy is supposed to challenge, not conform. Once it becomes predictable, divisive, and agenda-driven, audiences walk away. And that's exactly what happened.